Perfect. So, good morning, everybody. My name is Jessica Rorson, and I'm working with Community Futures Beaver River out of Meadow Lake. And this series is brought to you by their new program that was approved by NACA. So, we have two different programs. One is an Indigenous women's microloan program, and the other is an Indigenous youth microloan program. And within those loan programs, there is up to 30% that is non-repayable. So that means a grant that's attached to your loan, up to $25,000. So through that funding, through NACA, we are able to offer a variety of different training opportunities, such as this one. So Josie has been offering a series of six, really pertaining to social media, your brand, creating your brand kit. Today we're focusing on Canva. We're going to be talking about websites, um, basically anything that will help you with your small business and marketing in this type of platform, in these platforms. So, before we get started, I just want to acknowledge that we are coming to you from Treaty 6 territory and homeland of the Métis. We pay our respects to the First Nations and Métis ancestors of this place, and we reaffirm our relationship with one another. So, thank you all very much for joining, and I'm going to pass it over to Josie to get started. So, thanks again, Josie, for being here.
Thanks, Jessica. I'm happy to be here, and thanks to Community Futures Beaver River for having me do this series. A little quick background about me. I've been helping small businesses for over 10 years, basically with their online presence. So anything from like social media training to content creation to social media management, building websites, e-newsletters, all that type of stuff. That's kind of what I've been doing for the last 10 years. And so that's where my expertise comes from. Um, Through this, I have used Canva. So that's kind of what we're talking about today. And Canva is an online based design program. And I find it really user friendly. I think that it is a great resource for small businesses, especially if you're a one-person team or a two-person team, or however many person team, doesn't really matter, but it's an easy program to learn, and you can kind of take it as far as you want because there's so many templates within this program that you can kind of just adjust to your brand kit, to your colors and your put your logo in and change the information, and you can take it just as far as that, or you can kind of create your own things from scratch. But it's great for those who just need to get their a couple design pieces done, and used on their social media, or maybe you need some little pieces for your website or whatever it is. Uh, I actually switched to this program from Adobe. So I was using the Adobe Photoshop. I'm not sure if you guys have heard of those programs. And I switched to this because it was way more cost effective. So it costs like $200 approximately a year for this program if you want to use all of the paid features. Um, so it's really minimal in comparison to Photoshop. You're paying almost $90 a month for. And so I just found this program to be really worth it to purchase. So today, this one, if you've been to any of my other webinars in this series, we've kind of went through like a presentation. Today, I'm actually just going to go right into my own Canva and just walk you through the program and kind of work through that and show you examples. We can build some things. I know Shelly gave us her logo there, so we'll pop her logo in and use her logo, and build a brand kit. And if you have anything that you want to specifically learn how to build in Canva, maybe you need to build a poster or a brochure or just some social media posts, feel free to pop it in the chat, and we can try to get to as many as we can, just many examples. Um, yeah, I think, yeah. So basically, I'm just going to share my screen here and pop over into Canva. And so, um, move this here for a second. Okay. All right. So, you should be seeing basically the home screen of Canva right now. And yeah, basically this is Canva. Um, I'm going to just kind of go through it. It might not be in the order that you see everything here. But basically, this is the program that you can design presentations, you can make websites in here, you can any type of graphic for marketing, you can develop a whole brand kit, you can design your logo in here. So, especially for small businesses who just need to just get a logo made and get some things done. I find this program really helpful. We are going to start. So on the side here, you'll see we have a whole bunch of different tabs. And I'm going to start by just going to the brand kit, just because that's going to help us as we kind of move along today through this, through all of the examples. So I'm going to go and I'm going to create a new brand kit on here. So I have a whole bunch of brand kits in here. So when you go to start your Canva account and you go to put in your brand kit, um, it'll just say that right on the main screen. So I'm going to use it was 6th Ave car wash, and we're going to create that one. And so I think actually you did share your website link. I'm just, as I'm in the chat here, I'm seeing Shelly said, do you use Canva to create reels or do you stick to edits for that? So you can definitely use Canva to create reels. Sorry, talking and reading at the same time here. You can definitely use this to create reels and we can definitely walk through that. So we have put in the website that Shelly gave us, and I'm going to add. Oh, I think, okay, I didn't realize that it was a Facebook. Let's go back actually to here. Okay, we are actually going to start this one over because we can't actually use Facebook as a website for the brand kit building. So we will just go back, we will go in here and we will go to logos and we are going to add the logo that Shelly had provided us with. And now it's been uploaded. So now on the left-hand side, you'll see the menu here, and we're under 6th Avenue Car Wash. We're going to go to colors. And what it's done now is automatically taken your logo and taken the colors from your logo. So if these aren't the colors that you use in your advertising, you can remove them and you can kind of add your own colors, or you can just hit the check mark and say keep. Maybe there's another color that you like that wasn't included in your logo, but you use a lot. Maybe you can just go in here and you can add it in if you want. So yeah, you just click on the color wheel and kind of slide to choose your color. If you know the kind of color code, then you can always just punch it in here. So you just want black or whatever it is. So say you selected green, added it in, and then realized you don't want it. It's very easy to delete. Same with all the other colors that have been chosen. You can just kind of hover over and hit the X button. So Yeah, so we can keep going down. You can add in your fonts if you have specific fonts that you know that you use. Again, this is super detailed. You don't have to go this far. It just makes it a little bit easier for you later on if you want. I'm just going to see here. I'm gonna pop open the logo and just look at the font. So yeah, you can definitely do this, but it's not required. If you have some photos that you like to use across your marketing, you can upload those here. Um, and again, if you have little icons or anything like that, sometimes people like to use the same little icon for um, their website or a phone call or email, like those little kind of icons you see on posters or social media posts or those types of things. So you can definitely upload that. But I think we'll just leave it pretty simple. We've got the logo, we've got the colors, and I think that's great. So that's basically all you need to get started. And you don't even have to do this. It does just make it a little bit easier because then you can always um, add your logo and use your colors, and it's just a little bit easier for you. You're not always having to search for those things. Um, so here you'll see um, all the different kinds of things that you can do. So we have presentations, we have social media, we have video, print, docs, whiteboard, sheets, website, email, which is basically creating like an email template, um, and then some other things over here. So the nice thing about Canva is you can have all of your projects. So on the left-hand side here, I've got my projects. You can kind of see what I've been working on recently, and then I have folders for all of my different projects that I have going on. Um, I think on this side, that's basically really all that we need to get into. So you're going to go in, you're going to put your logo and your colors in, and then you're basically going to just get started. So let's say we're going to create we'll start with the easy one here. We'll do a social media post for Shelly's car wash. So, say she wants to use this on um, Instagram. You can see here when we've clicked the social media tab, it gives us the perfect sizing for an Instagram post, for an Instagram story, Facebook post. Um, if you want to cross post to both of your social media pages, you can use this one here that just says social media. It kind of cuts off here, but it's basically just a square because Instagram has a different size and Facebook has a different size. A square is kind of the best to use universally for both platforms. Um, if you need a cover for your Facebook profile, you can do that here. Again, here's like the real layout, and it kind of keeps going on and on. So depending on the platforms that you need, you can probably find the template already. So I clicked on the social media, the Instagram one. And so here's the size for Instagram. So I'm going to show you kind of two ways you can go about this. You'll see that it gives us a blank page. So if you want to start with a blank page and create your own template, you can do that. Once you have clicked that and you're in here, you can also click templates this way on this side, on the left-hand side, and you can scroll down through different types of templates that are maybe popular right now for Instagram. So you can definitely select one of these. Say you pick this one here. It fills your blank canvas with the template that you've selected. And you can go in here and you can see everything that I mouse over. It gets highlighted in purple and you can change everything. So you can easily delete a photo. You can go in here and change the words. Um, lots of things you can do that way. The other way you can go about accessing templates is when you're in here, we're in social media, and you'll see here below popular social media templates. So you can also scroll through some of the templates this way. Sometimes this helps to just get a little bit of inspiration of what you're looking to build. But here I'm going to just create, I'm going to type in Instagram post. Actually, maybe that didn't work the way that I wanted it to. Um, Popular. There we go. Okay, they changed this. So here at the top it has quick actions. And so instead of popular, I just hit Instagram so that the templates that I'm getting are all for Instagram. Because if you saw before here, I'll just go back. The popular templates, you can see they're all different sizes. So I wanted one specifically for Instagram because I don't want the variance in sizes. I just want what's going to work best for Instagram. Um, so you can see here, you can pick anything this way. Say we pick this one here. I'm just going to click it, and there we sort of have a template we can go off of. So these are photos that have been put in, and if I hit the delete button on the photos that they have added, it can just delete those photos while not erasing the template. So say maybe I want to go in and I want to change some things around. I'm going to kind of walk through all the things that you can do here. So we're creating a social media post for a car wash. So on the left-hand side, you can see here that we have elements, which this is kind of what opens here, gives you a whole bunch of different options. So you can click shapes, and you can add a shape in. You can scroll down, lots of different shapes. You can hit see all just to expand them if there's more there. Um, Organic shapes, again, hit more, and they will all open up. So in Elements, you can see all of these things that are here: graphics, 3Ds, animations, photos, frames, grids, um, lots of different options. And I know it's a little bit overwhelming, but really what we're going to focus on mostly is just looking for photos and graphics. And so we're probably going to use those the most today. I'm going to just search in the Elements for car wash. I'm just going to type in car wash. So then you can see here now in this menu, you can see all the graphics that are available to you. So these are kind of like the animated ones. And then we have photos. So I'm going to go into photos and I'm just going to grab one and I'm going to slide it over to put into that template. Maybe I'm going to grab um, another couple ones here.
There's one. Yeah, take that one.
So yeah, so
Oh
now
yeah.
I've replaced the three images just like that. Super easy and quick. You can still see we have like the original text on the template here. So we can get into that in a minute here. But if we go over to brand kit, I'm going to select the 6th Avenue Car Wash. I'm going to just pop the logo in. Oops. Make it a little bit smaller. Maybe I want this to kind of be, sometimes you have to be, when you put a photo over a photo, you have to use your arrow buttons. But I'm just going to add that in. And the cool thing that you can do with this program is say I don't necessarily want the white around here. I can hit the background remover button and it takes away the white part. And then maybe I'm going to just put that, take me a second to move it all the way over here. If I can do it faster way. I will just keep doing it like this. I'm just using my arrow. Sometimes when you do insert a photo over a photo onto one of those photo templates, it just needs you to use the arrow keys instead of dragging it with the mouse. Anyways, so now I've got this here. We do have this original text that was in here from the template, but maybe I don't want to use that and I want something a little bit more bold and catchy. So I'm going to go back onto the side here. We already went into elements and now I'm going to go to the next one below and I'm going to hit text. And so now you can see there's a million options in here. And you can keep it simple. You can just select add a heading or a subheading or a little bit of body text. Or you can go down here and you can see that they've put together a bunch of font combinations. So you can easily click one of these, and then you can just adjust the colors, and you can kind of do whatever it is that you like with that. I'm going to add another page here just so a blank one shows up so I can kind of show you. Say you like this one here, custom paint, but maybe you don't really like the paint part. You'll see here when you click on these, they're grouped together. So what grouped together means is that they've basically taken the text, two text boxes and grouped them together so that when you move them around, they don't separate. If you hit ungroup, um, oops, then if you go to grab it, they're all going to move separately. So maybe I just like this custom part and not the paint part. So I'm going to delete that, but I'm going to keep this one. And then I'm going to change it maybe into the red. So you can see here now when I went to go up here on this taskbar that pops up, I went to text color and I selected the red one. You see that the brand kit shows up for the car wash. So that's what makes it really handy. Otherwise, you would have to basically go through here, the color wheel, and try to find the one that you wanted. So this just makes it easier. So maybe we just are saying now open, and I'm going to bring this and I'm going to put this up here. I'm going to find the good, and maybe I'm realizing now that this photo here doesn't kind of work with what I want to use it for. So I'm maybe going to go back to the elements and I'm going to go and see if I can kind of find one that would work better to have text over. Let's see if this one works better. Yeah, so we can get into kind of how to like make this a little bit more visually appealing, but these are kind of some of the things that you can do. When you are in here, say you're creating, let's just go back up here to templates and grab kind of something a little bit different. Maybe we're grabbing this one and we're going to change the photo again here into sort of just the car. We're going to make this into a car wash theme. I don't want these other elements in there, so I'm going to take this off. And then we're going to kind of make this into a poster. So I'm just going to show you all the things that you can kind of do. So when we're adding the text in, we really liked this one here that we picked. So I'm going to actually just use that again. I'm going to put it in here. And you can see this, we'll go through this taskbar at the top here. So you can see this is how you can change the font. So you can basically make it into anything that you want. You can scroll through if you want it to be different. Maybe you want it to be more like handwriting. You can click the handwriting tab, um, pick something different, whatever kind of suits your brand and the look that you're going for with your post or your poster. Um, And everything that you really need is up here. You can also use your mouse, or your mouse. So you can make it bigger this way by pulling the text box. Um, you'll see here as you slide it, you're seeing all these pink lines pop up. That's kind of how you know if you're centered on the page. So I always try to look for that long line that goes all the way from the top to the bottom, to help you. But again, that's kind of getting into the nitpicky things. Maybe we don't want this to be red anymore. We want this to be kind of this bluey, gray, black color. And we can change. This one says we can do the underline, we can do a strike through, we can change it so all the letters are capitals. I'm going to just choose a different font here, so you can kind of see these options a bit better. So you'll see now when I've clicked this lowercase, uppercase combo, it just changes from lowercase to uppercase without you having to go in and redo it. Some of them only give you certain options. So this one, for example, this one isn't an option for us to bold it any more than it is or to italicize it. Our option is to underline or strike through or do the uppercase. Then again, here, just kind of regular positioning things. So you can left a line, right a line, and center. I'm going to choose to do center. And this one here, the advanced, it's got the T with the arrows. This one's a cool one because you can, let's take that here. You can you can adjust the letter spacing. So say you wanted it to fill the whole page. I'm just going to adjust my text box here. So say I wanted this to go, I'm going to make it a little bit bigger, but say I wanted it to be spread out a little bit more so it kind of fits more on the page. And then, maybe I'm going to take that and I'm going to copy it now that I like it. And I'm just going to kind of repeat this down the page, kind of thing. So you can do lots of things with a simple text box. The other thing, if you had, let's just say we had some writing in here, and I'm just going to type in just to be kind of quick here. Say we want it to be a little bit, the spacing to be different, you can change the line spacing so that it tightens up or that it spreads out. So this is really handy because sometimes how we would do it, maybe if you're creating something in like a Word document or something else, you might go enter and then enter, but it's not really the spacing that you want. So this kind of takes that away and it allows you to just kind of play around with the line spacing. So say we want it to be a little bit tighter because we still have a couple of things that we're going to put on here. So lots to do with your text. So the other thing that I'll say, I'm trying to keep it super basic because I don't want to overwhelm with all the options, but there are a lot of options. So once you get comfortable doing this and playing around with this, you can add more effects. So you can go, again, once you click on the the text that you want, you can hit effects and you can make it so there's an, like I'm just going to play around here just to see if you watch the screen. Now this one is highlighted in red, and maybe now that's giving me an idea. I want this to be white so that it's actually just only outlined in red. So you can kind of do something like that. We can go back into effects. We can do a curve. So say I'll delete that one, and then maybe we just want the curve in there. And with the curve, you can also adjust how much you want it to curve, which way you want it to curve. So there are lots of options once you kind of get comfortable with building and working off these templates. So I'm going to just put this one back here because I kind of liked this look. Maybe I'm going to change this back to red, and then maybe this is kind of my post to announce that we're open on social media. And I'm just kind of trying to hit a couple of the colors that are used. I'm going to go into the brand kit. I'm going to grab the logo and I'm going to kind of just pop it over here. I'm going to remove the background just so it blends a little bit more. As you can see here, it's kind of what it's starting to look like. So in the elements, when we were in there, we were looking, that's where we went to look for our images for our car wash. If we hit X out, and say I just want to add in some little, like I want to make it, like I want a location pin, because I'm going to write my address. Maybe I'm going to use this. These are graphics that you can grab. Usually you can pretty much do anything with them. You can change the color. It's not very limiting. So you can kind of adjust them as you need to suit your marketing images that you're creating. And then maybe I want to just have our phone number, our phone, I'm going to put the phone icon. So I kind of want the icons to look the same. So I'm going to choose this same outline. I'm going to put it in the same color. Oops. And now I'm going to go and I'm just going to, I like this text that I use here. So I'm just going to use this same, I'm just going to copy and paste it. And I'm just going to put in our location. And then I'm going to put in our phone number. And I'm going to select these all. Let's see here. So I'm basically clicking all the images that I want while holding down the shift button. And then I'm just going to put them, I want them to be kind of more centered on this page. And I don't want them to move around. I want them to be in this line. So I'm going to hit group together. And so here's kind of an example of what you could create. And I mean, that took us about 10 minutes, maybe a little bit longer. So not much time to kind of put into something like this. And if we go back into, like I said, we go into these templates here. There's a lot that you can do. Sometimes I find it easier if you do select um, let's go back here to just the popular tab. I find if you click social media, just the square one, I find that the template options are really good in this square um, one. So you can see here lots of different things that you can do and just kind of adjust the information. So pretty simple in that way. Maybe you're looking for something specific. Maybe you're hosting an event, and I'm just going to type in the templates here, an event. And if you wanted, you could click this one. We can adjust it. Oops.
Josie, Shelley has a question here, just says, how can you save these elements to be able to reuse, like the location, phone, etc.? Is there a spot where you can save the icons and the phone number so you don't have to like always be typing it all in?
Yeah, so you can go in here, just look, um, back in our brand kit that we were building here, you can, I think I'm not sure if you can do it this way. Okay, no, you can. So you can, let's see here. Yeah, it might be something where what you're doing here, let me show you. Say we're gonna do, um, I'll just add a page to this one, but say we just want to keep this information, and maybe we're just gonna ungroup these and say we're just gonna keep this one here. So you can do it this way, where then I would save this and then re-upload it in my brand kit. And then it would show up. The other thing you can do is when you're using these elements, um, I believe you can, just a second here. So the, let's just exit out of this here. And you see your recently used, those will always show up. So everything you've kind of recently added into a template, it will show up in your recently used. So you can take this and you can actually hit star, and then it'll always show up. You can also, I'm going to add pin icon. Okay, so yeah, you can just save that one into a folder. So I think you can do, I mean, you could save it into your uploads, which is where all your photos that you upload into there. So then it's always there when you go into your uploads. Um, it would be in here. So there are multiple ways that you can do it, but this one might be the easiest. Just putting it on a blank page, and then here let's just do it. We'll go into PNG. We're just going to save the third page. And then if I go back over to my brand kit now, and maybe I just want to put it in my icons, just be able to drag it over, hit save. And then now, let's say we were just working on another one, or this other one here even. I'm going into my brand kit and I'm going to see graphics right here, icons, click on it, and it adds it in. So just takes a little bit of work to get that kind of stuff set up. But if you know you're going to use those icons or those graphics a lot, that's a way that you can do it. So a couple different ways there. I think that's probably the easiest, is just to export it, then drag it back in, and then it's there. Okay, so back into the template. So yeah, so where were we here? This one. Yeah, you're planning an event. You can literally click the template that's already been created and change the information. So we can just delete like this logo. We can take our logo and we can pop it in here. If you want to keep it the same, you can also just say we want to change this color. This color doesn't work with our brand kit. Maybe we're going to do this. And I'm just going to kind of adjust all the things so that it suits our brand kit. You can see here that I'm just at the top, there is that bar that has basically all your options to edit the piece. I'm trying to get rid of all of the yellow. I'm trying to make it so that this all matches, with my brand, because my brand is growing the fundraiser. So you can easily, that's how easy it is to just go in, swap up out a couple things to make it work for you. Again, you can delete the image and you can see the image placeholder stays there, which is really handy. So you don't have to try to figure out how to put your exact size image in there. And you can just basically click on everything here and change the information. Just as easy as that. So there's lots that you can do with just adjusting the template and keeping it that simple until you're kind of a little bit more familiar with the program, until you have more time to spend with the program to kind of figure out all the ins and outs. But it might seem a little bit overwhelming as I'm going through it, but it actually is quite user friendly in comparison to a lot of the other design programs out there that are also way more costly. So I'm going to go back in and just kind of show you some of the other things here. So you can build a presentation. I know we kind of went over all of these, but say you want to create a certain document. Actually, that's not what I wanted. Let's do an email. So oh yeah, it's okay. It's just going to do that. That's fine. So say you want a nice designed email that you can send to customers, maybe when they come in and you want to send them customer feedback and you don't really have like a huge thing set up for that. You can easily click and adjust one of these. Maybe you can you can type in customer review just to see if anything better pops up, but you can click it and you can make templates to send out as emails. And you can adjust them however you like and save them. Let's go back to here. You can let's go back into let's say we want to do you want to make a brochure. Let's just type into here brochure. So you can see here, it's going to give you a bunch of options for templates. So let's say we want, let's go this way here, a brochure. You can see here, it's created the templates for you. So if you liked something, the way that they have a template laid out, again, it's as simple as clicking it. It's always going to give you some sort of options because you can actually order right through Canva. So if I designed this, I could order it through Canva. And I think Staples is usually their printer, or they might have a couple, but it usually comes really quick, which is quite nice about this as well. Um, so if you want to customize this template, again, the templates all work the same. So I can just delete the image that's there, find a new image that suits. Maybe I have one that I want to use to promote my business. I can pop that in there here too. And then I can kind of just work on changing the things because I really like this template. I'm not going to change too much except for probably my brand colors, putting those into place here. So yeah, so you can kind of do it that way. And then it gives you both pages. So you work on that. And then you can see here on your right hand side, there's this that pops up that shows that you can get it printed right through them. And they do deliver right to your door, which is nice if you do need that feature. I'm going to go back to pick a different design.
I'm just going to
Yeah.
ask you a question here,
Yep.
Josie. This person uses MailChimp. Can I make an email in Canva and have it work in MailChimp? Would the links work?
Yes. So what you can do, I was just actually playing with this the other day. So a lot of this, I haven't actually taken something from here and then went and put it into MailChimp. So I haven't actually tested that. So I don't know for sure what would work and what wouldn't work. What you could do, um, if you are using MailChimp and you do have Canva, you could go in here and even just do a test. So say here where it says track order, maybe you just go in and you enter in your website, and then just export this to see, because it does have the MailChimp option, and then just go and see and click that one link that you um, adjusted and see if it works. Does that make sense? So like taking it from here, putting it in there just as a trial to see before you work on building an entire thing in here and then moving it over into MailChimp. This is relatively new, so I have just started playing with this feature. I think it's really cool because I personally find MailChimp and some of those platforms quite limiting in the design. Like it doesn't maybe match my brand, or it feels really basic or kind of tired. And so um, it's just definitely something I need to play with a little bit more. This is newer, but that's probably what I would suggest is just to do it that way. I see there's I have a bunch of notifications in the chat. Okay.
It's okay. I'm
Coming
going
through.
through them.
Okay, great.
Yeah.
Okay. Um, the other one, yes, business cards was what I was going to do next. So, um, if you can type it in up in that search bar up here, it gives me the option right here. And then you'll see once I've clicked business cards, they're always usually two pages because you have a front and a back. So you can scroll through here to see if there's a template that you like. Um, again, that you always have the option to create from scratch. Or maybe you just like one thing on the template and then you're going to remove everything else. Totally fine. You can do it however you want. Sometimes it's nice to just have a little bit of a starting point. So as you can see here, as we're scrolling through, there's so many different templates for so many different industries in here. Um, so basically pick one that works for you. And I have gotten business cards through them and got them delivered to my door, and that was great. It took no time, and they did a really good job. So yeah, definitely recommend doing that through here. I think you can also do like if you want a different size, like you can do like I did some square ones instead of the traditional business card size. Again, you can see here if I hover over this Olivia Wilson one, it's showing me the template for both sides. That's kind of how you can get a little preview of what it looks like if that's kind of what you're um, going for. And then I'm going to go up, and I know I touched on this a little bit with building your brand kit. But if you do need to design a logo and you don't have something, um, and you don't want to spend a lot of time and money on that right now, this is a really good option. I've created many logos in this program that people are still using 5 years later. So again, this will give you again, templates. They're always there for you. Um, so something you can kind of take and maybe make your own a little bit, um, or just get a little bit of inspiration on what you're gonna do. So yeah, we can see again here, lots of different templates for something like that. And they just have a lot of different graphics. So if you click this one and you wanted to customize this one, um, say we're gonna do like a bakery, and I specialize in sort of tiered cakes. Um, so I'm just gonna do search tall cake in the search bar, and I'm gonna look at the graphics that they have. Oops. And just see if anything might kind of suit a logo for me. Um, let's just say we're going to pick this one. I picked this template because I liked the font in here. So oops. So here, this is a good example actually of where I want to access this cake without moving any of these icons, but the cake isn't highlighting. And that usually happens just sometimes when there's too many things over top of an image. So up here in this bar, it says position. And if you click that, then it actually allows me to click the cake, and then I can come over and then I can move the cake without moving any of my other elements, because then once you move them, then you have to move your cake and then move those elements back. So this is kind of a easier way to do that. And I'm going to say that this is because maybe I just need like a very simple little thing. And then I'm going to push this over into the center. You'll see now a T has come up, so that's basically in the center. So there, maybe that works for me for now. Maybe I'm going to take this cakes and change the color to, maybe I want it to actually match one of these colors in my cakes. So you can go over to this color wheel, basically click it and click the little dropper. And I want to maybe use this pinkish color. So there's lots of things, and we could keep playing with this. We could keep like maybe I want it to be maybe I don't know, maybe I want to have like a circle around it. I'm going to put the circle around. I'm going to change the color to maybe maybe I want to use the yellow. Yeah, so I mean, pretty simple. If you have an idea already, if you have your brand colors or your kind of um, a vision, I guess, already, you can definitely make something up in here pretty quick if you wanted. Just here. With the logo design, can you manipulate orientation of design? Yeah, absolutely. So, like, are you talking about let's delete this here. Like these, you can like turn them essentially. Not sure if that's what she's referring to, but like you can, again, we could, yeah, you can move anything anyway. You can, again, with the fonts, we talked about how maybe you want to do, oops, sorry. Maybe you want to do a little bit of a curve. So you can definitely manipulate basically anything in the program. You can take it and do whatever you want. You can flip up here if you see this graphic. Once I've selected it, that bar comes up again, and I can flip it if I want to flip it to reverse it. That's maybe not the best image to use for something like that because let's just go back to cake. So maybe I like this cake, but I don't like that it's that way. I want it to be flipped the other way. So you can flip it that way. Again, these elements here on, you can see when I click the slice of cake, two little color swatches show up at the top. So I can actually adjust that. So maybe I wanted this cake to be, maybe my colors are more along the blue line versus the red. So you can do that with this image, but you'll notice with this other graphic that I had originally chosen with the tiered cake, I can't actually choose that one, or I can't change the colors, I mean, sorry. So just something to kind of play around with. Again, you can kind of see here, I picked this other cupcake. And again, I can change it to be more of a blue base if that's what I want. Yeah, basically you can kind of do anything. It just takes a little bit of time getting comfortable and playing around with it. And I will also just note here in this, in my Canva that we are using, I do have the paid version. So you can get this program for free. But the paid version does allow you to do a lot more options. Um, and you'll see here when we go, I can go back into the templates we were looking at. Some of them have a little crown here. So that means that you wouldn't be able to access this template unless you have the premium plan, the paid plan. One other thing that I will touch on is you can create teams with this. So, say you have a bunch of people that maybe need access to the Canva account and everybody's creating their own sort of thing in here. Maybe you have someone who does social media stuff and then maybe someone else who's working on the website. Um, you can have you can create a team, and I think that's really cool because then everybody can work in the program and have access to the same assets and stuff, and see what everyone's doing. And you don't have to ask, hey, can you email me that? Or hey, I need to, like, can you let me into the Canva account? Because the Canva account needs I think the two factor, which I think most things do now. So that makes it really easy if you have multiple people in your business that would need to access this, then you can create a team. And one thing that is cool here, I'll just go back to my home page. This one I was working on here in our community. Basically, the person coordinating this event was working on this poster, and she just gave me access to this so that I could go in and I could change things, or I could make a comment. I can click this here and say, hey, I like this, but what do you think about changing the green? So that's a really cool thing about Canva and having teams, and just being able to share things back and forth like that. We could probably talk about Canva all day. There's so many things that you can do, but my suggestion, if you are going to kind of dive into this program, you could just download or sign up for a free account to kind of get a little bit comfortable, see what you would want to use. And if it looks like you would want to use more of the paid features, then you could purchase it. Like I said, I think it's $20 a month and then or $200 a year. So if you do buy the year plan, I think it saves you about $40. But very easy, very user friendly. You can pretty much do anything in here. It just takes a little bit of time and kind of fiddling around with the program until you get comfortable. But yeah, was there any more questions that anybody? We have just 2 more minutes left. Yeah.
I'm going to be uploading this video to our YouTube channel, and I'll send everybody out the link so that you can go back and follow along at your own pace. So we really appreciate you all joining us today, and I'll send also the schedule for the other upcoming sessions that we have coming up in the next few weeks before I think our last one is done on April the 1st. So anyways, thanks everybody very much for joining, and have a great rest of your week.
Thank you.
Thanks, Josie. I'm gonna hit end record here.
Oh, I didn't see that Kate was in here.